I think when you live in a relationship long enough, you realize it is not a feeling, it is actually a choice that you need to make on a day-to-day basis. I think love has to be celebrated every day. I don't think there needs to be one particular day where there is a grand gesture. Anything that keeps any relationship afloat, use it. Don't worry about what society thinks or what people might say.
I think marriage, relationship is a journey, and it's not going to be the same. It's not going to feel the same every day.
Despite all the challenges we encounter, I genuinely believe that if we hold fast to each other, we'll get there. And then when we get there, we'll be like, wow. Hello and welcome to another episode, however delayed, of With the Uthappas. Valentine's Day is here, and we thought
Hello.
a good way to kind of reintroduce ourselves a little bit.
After, quite a bit.
Quite a bit, because I think kids, traveling, and life in general kind of takes over. So we're trying to do this as often as possible. But here we are, Valentine's Day, and some tough and honest questions we've asked, and I think it'll be interesting.
To ask. And I think we said the same thing our last video also, if you remember.
Yeah.
We were like, I think it's just been like, I don't know, monotonous like things, and
I think travel, kids, school, routines.
Yeah.
All of that kind of just.
And generally, like for me, I think personally, I don't know, I've not been in a space to actually do this.
Yeah.
And then now suddenly Robin's like, okay, Valentine's Day, let's do a video.
I had to spring it on her. Like she's not known anything about it, and
I'm like, what?
Throw it in there and then just bring her here. And that's actually what we've done. We've, as I told her last night, like we got to shoot tomorrow, and we got to do this. And she's like, okay, fine. And she's actually traveling later today, but here we are. We'll do this, and then she travels. So let's begin.
Yes.
Let's go.
What does Valentine's Day mean to you?
Me?
Please.
To be very honest, what does Valentine's Day mean to me? To be very honest, I think it's overrated, to be honest. I think love has to be celebrated every day. I don't think there needs to be one particular day where there is a grand gesture. I think every day you can make those micro gestures. There can be things that you do. The appreciation can be shown, and I think there are different ways of doing it, and I don't think you need one particular day for it. So for me, I'm not a big believer of it, but I think it's a wonderful kind of opportunity to talk about your relationship, kind of honestly discuss it, and I think that's what we're endeavoring to do today.
Yeah, for me, like Valentine's Day is like what is this, like, I'm supposed to celebrate? And when he said last night, he was like, oh, we're doing the Valentine's Day video. I'm like say what? And then he's like, I'm like, okay, whatever. But and I think like he rightly said, I feel like it's not about one particular day. I think it needs to be, and we do try and celebrate it in our own way. I think whenever possible, or whenever I think we remember. But yeah, it's not like a big deal for me, to be honest.
Yeah, I reckon it's quite hard in the sense that when you have two kids who are close to each other in the sense of as far as age is concerned, then and we're kind of chugging along by ourselves. So in that sense, it's a lot of rebalancing.
But regardless, I don't think Valentine's Day, even without the kids, is like, oh my God,
like a big thing. Yeah, we've never really done anything on Valentine's Day, and Sheets is quite challenging to buy gifts for. So it's also
you're lucky.
She's easy on the pocket, I'll tell you that.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, what has been your biggest dilemma in your marriage or not in the relationship and the time that you got the
You go.
I think my biggest learning has been to know and understand and accept that I think marriage relationship is a journey, and it's not going to be the same. It's not going to feel the same every day. And it's work, and it's going to not feel like, oh wow, I'm in love, so this is just going to flow. It feels like, I think it's like any other relationship, but with a lot more responsibility, because I think like we need to take at least for us, like we take responsibility of not taking each other for granted. And I just feel like it's a responsibility that you take on because you feel love for each other. And yeah, I just feel like it's work, and not to expect it to be perfect or in a certain way on any given day, and take it as it comes, and deal with each day, treat each day as a new day, and work from there. Yeah, for me, I think it's part of life, but it's a place where you need to put in effort every day.
So for me, I think my biggest learning has been that love is not a feeling, love's a choice, and you have to make that choice on a day-to-day basis. And I agree that it is a journey. I think you navigate through life where on certain days the emotions are high, on certain days the emotions are low, but to make that choice. And I think we've discussed this, that I think we believe that the grass is not greener on the other side. The grass is greener where you water it, nurture it, give it sunlight, feed it, mow the grass, and keep it prim and proper. So the effort required to make a relationship work depends on the amount of the amount of time and importance and the priority you give to it. And it becomes progressively more challenging as life goes on, in the sense of when you add kids to the mix, when you add other responsibilities to the mix, it becomes progressively challenging. And I think a lot of times in relationships, when couples or when people get to that stage, they kind of take each other for granted. And we constantly, I think, endeavor, to not take each other for granted. And we try and work on a lot of things, and everything is work in progress. One thing I think I've learned is that you will not get everything right 75% of the time. But when you get those things right, that 25% of the time, go big, go hard, and make it count. So I think that's been my learning so far in our relationship.
I get more percentage, right?
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, you get.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
If you got caught in a time you could stay with,
If I got caught in a time loop, actually, that's a tough one. I think the day I realized I had feelings for her, if I could get caught in that time loop, I'd live there forever. Because I think the highs I experienced that day, the realization, and it was like truly just unbeknownst to me. And when it kind of hit home, is a day when I was like, wow, I never expected that I could feel like this for this person. And she just became home after that for me.
Wow, I can't beat that. But I think for me, it's going to be the day our daughter was born. Because I think four of us are together on that day. And I can't imagine now life without them. And I feel like it's that day, I feel like I can keep living it because four of us are together.
I must say it was a very tough day though.
Yeah, but
it was extremely challenging.
My
sorry.
Why are you asking? Yeah, so I think that's the day. But I just wanted to ask, you said that you answered this question saying the day you got to know you had feelings for me. And then the previous question, he said, love is not a feeling.
Yeah, it isn't. So that's been my learning over the last 12 years.
But you live that feeling every day.
Yeah, because that feeling is really special. If I could live in a time loop.
Yeah, so now what you have the understanding, right?
Yeah, I have the understanding, but if I could live with that same emotion on a day-to-day basis, wouldn't you want to? As in, I'd love to.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm confused.
I actually would.
All right. Great.
Yeah,
I got like a little confused. That's why I asked you.
because that's learning is that okay. As you like, that's a situation, right? Time loop is a situation. It's not necessarily going to happen, but I think when you live in a relationship long enough, you realize that it is not a feeling. It is actually a choice that you need to
Yeah.
make on a day-to-day
Yeah.
basis,
Yeah.
and you need to back the
Just a
choices.
googly question.
What's the best and worst that you've experienced in your marriage?
You tell.
I went the last question
No,
first.
I
so
went.
no, babe, I went the last question first. We're going one alternate.
So, what is the best and worst thing about my experience with you in a relationship? The best thing is that he's just all in and he's always there. He's always looking out and doing things for us and me and the family. And I think he's so much heart. It's almost like little difficult to handle.
Gee whiz.
But yeah, like I think that's the best part about you, and that's the best experience. Like overall, I think with anything in our relationship, the worst part. Which one?
How many are there?
No, I think one of the worst is. I mean, this I think we're repeating, but it's good. That the worst part for me is the focus when we are talking. That really bothers me. That really irritates me. But yeah, to look in the eye when we're talking. So yeah.
Yeah, I think the good thing is that that's been constant now for years.
No
but-
brownie points because it's
but it
constant.
hasn't been anything different from the past. But yeah, and that's something I'm trying to work really hard on.
Yeah.
For me, the best part of my relationship with you, or the best part about you in our relationship, I think would be your protectiveness for our family. I think for me it feels like the energy of a lioness. You want to protect your kind and your loyalty. For me, that is, I think, the greatest thing I've experienced with you, and I think that's something I value a lot. And the worst thing I think is your short fuseness. I think you've progressively gotten shorter fused as time has progressed.
It depends because you're consistent with your.
My lack of attention. Okay.
So,
But I don't mean with me, but I mean in general.
General.
Yeah, with me you're not as short fused, but I think if I push the right buttons, then I can get you there. But I think that has been something that, in a sense, has been progressive. I think especially after the onset of, what you're navigating through individually. So I think that those things, but I think those are work in progress, and I think it gets better over time.
yeah.
What's been the most challenging thing that you encountered with your dad?
You.
Yeah. What's been the most challenging thing I've encountered in our marriage? I think the most challenging thing I've encountered in our marriage, Sheets, is as responsibilities have kind of crept up. I think our one-on-one kind of connection and intimacy has suffered. I think that has been perhaps the most challenging thing. And I think, and like where it drives from, in the sense of even for the kids to see an example of good connection between, for them to have that base, that okay, this is what a good relationship looks like from that place, even from a individual place. So from many different fronts, I feel like that has been perhaps the most challenging part of our relationship. I think the other things we've consistently worked on, I think one of the best things that we have going for us is our absolute honesty with each other, and we're very forthright with each other. And I think in that sense, this has been for me the most challenging bit.
It's so funny. If I had answered first, I was going to answer the same thing, but then it's like the expectation of it for me feels like the most challenging space that
You still feel expectation?
I've been in. Like it's I think it's unsaid or unspoken, but I think it's just in me to live up to something. And yeah, I just feel like that expectation feels, I think when I look back and, see the time that, we've probably been navigating through, the journey of how to find that space just for ourselves, which has been, I think, since the time we had Neil. It just feels like challenging for me from the other side.
Yeah. But also challenges are quite evolutionary, right? I don't think the challenges we experienced in the first 3 years of our relationship are the challenges we face now. And I don't think the challenges we face now will be what we're facing 5-7 years down the line. And oftentimes I've seen, or I've experienced, where a lot of people kind of give up on relationships because of certain challenges they're facing at that point in time, because it seems insurmountable. And I often think, especially, we've discussed this, where, hey, in the larger scheme of things, if you're going to be married to each other for the rest of our lives, how will this period of a challenge that we're experiencing right now look in the larger scheme of things? It'll probably look like a blip in the radar of that maybe 4 years, 5 years that we went through together, but we found a way with each other to overcome it. And that's where love becomes a choice. That's where you choose to love that person despite going through those challenges. Figure out solutions with each other by being completely honest with each other about what we are kind of experiencing individually. That's something we've constantly done, and I think that kind of keeps us afloat. And I believe that anything that keeps any relationship afloat, use it. Don't worry about what society thinks or what people might say. If something makes your relationship float and it keeps both of you happy individually and together, that is the way to keep your relationship afloat. That's at least what I feel.
Yeah, because actually, if you look back, like the things that we probably used to fight about, or think that, okay, if this doesn't work, we don't want to be here. Probably after a few years, it's not even a thought.
No, not even a thought.
It's so weird. Like, it's like, oh, this was a problem for me.
Yeah, I swear.
I think that's right.
Nice.
What's the one thing you could like me to them?
Ooh, yours.
I feel it's connected to the last
The previous one.
Yeah, where I think we need to find that space and time for just us. Keeping my brain, I don't know where, because I think that's been the challenge where I struggle to let go of the responsibilities.
But that's also because we're taking care of them all the time, right?
With the kids. But yeah, I think to I don't know, to find that space where it's just you and me.
Yeah.
I guess that's what
I agree. I think that's also the one thing that I feel that we can improve on. I think that's something we've been challenged with, since the kind of kids came along. And one would never believe that Sheets is passionate about children, but she genuinely is, about her own kids at least. She's completely involved in, and it's like she does not take a day off. So even if I'm there at home and she's traveling for work, she's like very recently, like a week, like 5 days ago, we had a huge fight with each other. Like, you sit there and work, man. Let me take care of stuff here. And she like micromanaging things from there, and we kind of went back and forth. But she doesn't switch off, and I think that's something that we can work on. And think for her to just have faith and just kind of switch off and know that. And if she switches off, then gives us the opportunity to kind of even spend time with each other without her constantly leaving the room. And I think one thing I can improve on is me like just switching in instead of switching off.
Thanks. Much needed.
Yeah, had to balance the scales there, guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to do it all over again. If you do it, and what things will you change first? Yeah.
If I had to do it all over again, hell yeah, I would do it again. I would do it all
Yeah,
over
right.
again. Yeah, and it's exactly what she said. She said when I was discussing this question with her, I would actually do it all over again, because
Why?
despite the challenges we face, I genuinely believe it is not insurmountable. I genuinely believe that it's going to be a blip in the radar of our entire journey together.
Oh.
And I think that it's just about us holding strong and holding on to each other through all of that. Despite having distance in between that phase or while we're going through that, to have that hope and faith that we'll come to the other side. We'll reach the light at the end of that tunnel. And it's just a phase, Despite all the challenges we encounter, I genuinely believe that if we hold fast to each other, we'll get there. And then when we get there, we'll be like, wow. And I think we'll like, it does seem like a plateau at this point in time, but I also think if we stay with a plateau long enough, then we level up. And I think I have faith in that. And I have faith in you, I have faith in me, and I have faith in our relationship. And for me, heck yeah, man. As in, look at the kids we have.
Wow. That's the reason.
We individually, we probably wouldn't have had the same experience or with children if it wasn't for the kids we have. And I wouldn't replace that for anything. So for me, I think the fact that we came together, which I also think is karmic, by the way, I think is the reason why we have the kids we have as well. So I wouldn't exchange that for anything in the world.
So you would do it all over again?
1,000 times over.
Okay. So now...
Wait.
Oh, wait.
He has to answer the question. I want you to answer the question.
That's fine. So, I'm pressure.
It's okay.
No, I think, yes, actually, I mean, I have two answers for why I would do it all over again. One, I think, leave the kids aside, leave everything aside. I just feel like from the beginning of you and me, there is a connection that I have experienced that I don't have words to explain. And I feel like that has always been special. And that's what always has kept me sane, insane, stable to be here. And I feel like that's the reason I would do it all over again, because just to experience that, because it's something very, very, very special that I feel and experience with you. And two, I probably would do it again because there is no human being. Now, actually, we have our daughter, but there's no other human being on this planet who challenges me the way you do, because of which I have grown as a person, and I love it. I love the fact that I can look at myself 10 years ago and say, hey, I'm a different person today. And that's thanks to the challenges.
Thank you, baby.
But yeah, so I think I love the growth, and I love the fact that you don't necessarily agree to my thoughts or my process. So everything is like, with us, it's almost like a clash, but then before it used to be fights, but now it's more, okay, how do we find our
middle ground.
both our ways through this? And I feel like that's become very beautiful now, and always makes me feel like, okay, there's something more coming out of each of us through this, which I love, I think. And so I would love to do it all over again.
Wow.
I beat you in this.
Yeah. Awesome.
Okay, according to you guys, what is the formula that makes you wait? What do you say?
According to me, I think our silent obsession to make this work is what makes this work for us. Despite all the challenges we face, despite how insurmountable it seems, and despite how bleak it has seemed at all times, the fact that we want to do this, but we choose to do it with each other is why this works for us. Because we choose each other despite how bleak things seem and how easy it would be to actually just call it quits sometimes and just kind of move on.
Yeah.
And I think whether you choose to be with someone or you choose not to be with someone, both are difficult. But I think the love that I think we have for us together, I think we prefer that difficult to the difficult of being alone or navigating through life alone.
Yeah. Interesting. I think according to me, what makes this work for us is now maybe. I think initially, it was more, I don't know if it was volatile, but it was fragile, I think, for a few years initially.
No, we were also,
of course, we 9 years now.
Yeah.
And I think we were younger and lesser experience in the system of...
I reckon if we were actually younger, then we probably, as in the sense of generation-wise, if we were from a younger generation, we probably would have given up.
100%.
I think.
Yeah. But can I answer now?
Yes.
Okay.
If I say something, it's like...
I didn't even start my answer. But yeah. So I just...
Make a good reel.
I lost my thought. What was I saying now? Remind me. You also don't remember. You're not listening even now.
No, I am listening. I'm trying to recollect what you said. So no.
Exactly what he does.
But I was looking at her, guys. No. So
I'll check on him. What did I say? What did I say?
Yeah, that we can do less of that actually in our relationship. No, so
to.
yeah. So you were talking about.
Oh yeah. I got the. So I just feel like initially. Wait, I forgot the question.
The question is, what do you think your relationship or what formula makes you?
Yeah. So I feel like it's that acceptance that we have for each other, while we make each other feel like we don't accept each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But actually we do. And that's the only reason I feel like time and again and through anything and everything, we want to be together. And I think we've had different phases where you have felt like, I don't think this will work. And then I have felt like, I don't think this will work. But I think each one, when each of us have been in that space, the other one has been like, no, we'll make it work.
Yeah.
And I feel like we have trusted that somehow and hope that the other person says that.
Yeah.
So I just feel like there's that acceptance that we don't accept that we accept each other.
Talk about complex.
No, but that is true if you actually think about it.
The number of friends we've driven up the wall with this. Oh, it's not working for me. This is not working. This is not working.
No, I think that was until a few years ago. I think especially our second child, I feel like that has kind of reduced, at least from my side. I don't know
Like for me, at no point have I felt like this will not work. I'm like, this, it's like there. It's like that's the way.
Yeah.
And we just have to align ourselves to that.
So I feel like the formula is to completely accept each other, because I think when you do that, everything is part and parcel of that. And no matter what happens, right? And I feel at the end of it, for me, that's what I think works.
Yeah. I think one thing we do really well is we agree to disagree with each other.
We disagree.
No, we agree to disagree with each other. It's like...
I feel we disagree first.
Correct. And then after a point, you're like, yeah, this is what it is. Like
we don't agree. I don't agree. I'm like, I accept. I'm like, fine.
That's agreement.
I'm not agreeing. Just to make it clear, I do not agree. But I'll be like, I'll put up with this. It's fine. Because we actually disagree. We don't agree later. It's just like, fine. Like, if this is your way, do it. But I'm not going to agree to it. I'm like, fine, go on with it.
No, I mean, our opinions, for the most part, we're not in agreement of it. And so our opinions are not the same.
Never.
And almost all the time, right?
Yeah.
But I think what makes it work for us is the fact that we're okay that it's not the same.
Yeah,
and
now we have accepted
that. It's not like a thing where it has to be the same, otherwise this is not going to work.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by, okay, we agree to disagree with each other, even with our own individual opinions. We're like, it's fine. Oh, that's your opinion. This is my opinion. It's okay. It's
we
move on. Yeah, we move with it.
Yeah. And I think that's actually been, like, I think we've become easy with the fact that there's
It's become a flow right now, to be honest. Yeah.
to disagree.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, like, hey, you disagree. If we agree to each other, we're like, oh my God, like, that's different.
Yeah, but the one thing we try and categorically agree upon is how we raise our kids. You know,
that also we have, I think
we have disagreements.
Yeah, and I think we have different,
I think on very few things though, but I think when it comes to the kids per se, we're on the same page, as in values.
Yeah, the base,
the foundational stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
I have a question for you. That's if you describe her in one word, then we will expect me.
Her in one word? If I had to describe you in one word, I'd say feisty.
They're all laughing.
Yeah. If I had to describe you in one word, feisty.
Yeah, I choose to be.
Yeah. And you like own that shit.
Of course, always.
And it's challenging sometimes, but that's you. I love it.
Yeah. One word is tough.
Come on.
What is
one
that
word is easy.
one word? Can I use two words?
No.
Please. First and second. First option, second option.
Then I can pick which one.
No. Not for you. I think two. One is giving. I think is very, very, very giving. That makes him so special. Two, extreme. Extreme with everything.
What do you mean by extreme?
You're just like an extreme person. Like,
yeah, so I'm all in or nothing. That's
extreme.
my personality.
Extreme.
I'm like, or I'm.
My word for my choice. Words.
So pick one: giving or extreme.
Giving / extreme.
One maybe.
Can't. Giving.
We'll agree to disagree.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Who do you think was the first one who fell in love? It was Robin or Shheethal? Who fell in love first?
I think both. No, I think it was
After
me.
12 years of being together.
Me.
Yeah. After 12 years of being together, Shheethal probably thinks that it's both of us, but Shheethal actually, I think, fell in love first.
Yeah.
Who do you think was most nervous in your first date? Robin or Shheethal?
I don't think we were ever.
I don't think we were ever
nervous.
We were ever nervous.
Yeah, because I think we were friends for so long before that. And
Yeah. It was just a celebration. Like literally, I think after like when we started dating, I think it was a celebration of our friendship. Like,
I don't remember the first date. Like, did we have a first date?
yeah,
Like, where?
dude, we went to Bombay. We were in Bombay. We were living in Bombay then, and then I took you out to. Remember?
No, I don't remember. We didn't do any first date,
Baby,
did
we
we?
did. Yeah, we went to Colaba. It was behind the Taj Colaba Hotel, that little restaurant. And now it's changed, and we went back there with Neil. And I told you, babe, do you remember this is where we came for our first
Did I
date?
remember then?
Yeah, of course you
I
did.
did?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
So her memory is a little off after postpartum.
Off means what?
But it is.
Okay, apparently we did. Okay.
Who was the first person you told like your relationship about?
I think we both told the same person. We both told my childhood best friend about it.
Yeah.
And it felt the safest to tell him. And
Yeah.
he was our safe place. And so we told Tuku about it.
Yes. That was him.
How do you think our parents, received the news of us being together?
I mean, so when we say our parents, so my dad, who I grew up with, passed away long ago, so he was never in the picture. So it was, as family, it was mainly my brother. And my brother, I think, knew about it before even I told him
Yeah, 'cause I
that there
spoke to him
was
about
something. And then he had spoken to him before
spoke to him about
me. So yeah.
Yeah.
But I think he's younger than me, so I think it was just like, okay,
Yeah.
fine, more like that.
Yeah.
Please.
My folks didn't receive it well at all. They had their, apprehensions for whatever reason, but I kind of stuck through it and made her priority and went through life. And yes, there was a kind of a difficult period, but we kind of navigated through it, and now we've found our balance with it. Is there any part of you that I'm still trying to understand or accept? No, not necessarily. I feel like I accept every part of you. Do I understand every part of you? No. Sometimes it seems illogical, but I accept
Excuse
it.
me?
Yeah, there's some things that feels like, hey, this is this is the logical thing to do, but but I accept whatever it is. I think that's par for the course.
Okay, I don't believe in logic, so please don't even say.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't believe in like using logic everywhere. I don't function like that. So yeah, you have to deal with that. Do I accept? Accept?
Mm.
Yeah, I think I accept every part of you, and that's why. I'm
Do you
still
understand
here.
every part of me?
No, I'm still trying to understand how can you watch so many reels? Like, I can't get over the fact that, no, not reels and YouTube. I just can't get over the fact that anyone can watch that much YouTube.
But that's where I learn stuff. That's been like so educational for me. But also it's where I switch off, because with the multiple things that I'm doing, I cannot invest myself into a show unless it's mindless. Unless
Please
it's
don't
like
give me
easy
these
to watch.
serious answers.
No, but it's true.
And
I've
even
said
if I
this to you.
use logic, I cannot accept this.
This is my logical answer to what I'm saying. It's like when I want to switch off, I want to see something that's mindless.
But you're switching off then all the time.
No, I'm not. Like you check my phone and see.
When I'm talking to you, you're always like switching off.
No, but baby, you talk like when I come to you and sit down after work is when I've switched off. And
No,
I just
but
want
that's when I meet you.
But you have to understand, sometimes I switch off and come. When I finish work and come, you don't want anything. You just want to be with yourself for like that 15 minutes. You understand that?
Let's not say how many minutes.
Yeah, there have been times it's much more than 15 minutes, guys. I should admit that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to understand that, and I will continue to try.
How do you imagine your life 15 years from now?
How do I imagine my life 15 years from now? I imagine my life, wow. I imagine an incredible life, to be honest. Our kids have grown up and, we've matured into our relationship like fine wine. We're traveling the world with each other. Kids are independent, doing their own thing. We're helping people with the work that we do with mental well-being and mental health. And we're adding value to people's lives. That's what I see our lives being 15 years from now.
Yeah, I think, yeah, probably I wish, like, or rather, I I hope we strive to be in this space. But also, I mean, when you said imagine, what would we imagine? I don't know. Somehow, I have this issue of imagining about the future per se. I just feel like all I know is we're gonna find a way to be at peace, and I think everything else will follow. I think based on the decisions we make, the commitments we make, and the work we put in, which I believe we'll keep doing.
Yeah.
So yeah, all I can think of is we will be peaceful.
Yeah. And we'll play mixed doubles paddles in senior pros.
I am not playing. Yeah.
So, guys, that's it on this episode of With the Uthappas. This was a fun one. It was obviously honest and it was heartfelt. Thank you for doing this. I think
Thanks.
this was
Happy
fun.
Valentine's Day.
Oh, happy Valentine's Day. We never wish each other Valentine's Day. Like, wow, what Valentine's
like
Day? We celebrate every day.
Yeah, I
So-
mean,
Thank you.
Yes,
and
thank
we will
you.
see you guys whenever we see you guys.
hopefully more often. Yeah.
Peace. Bye.